How's it going, everybody? Jody in here, back in Stormworks, and this is going to be just a quick video because I'm actually messing around with fractioning because I wasn't really satisfied with that last episode we did with the fractioning trailer. I thought that was a little slow, um, and so I decided to make a fractioning facility. Um, and so this is after some trial and error. I was like, okay, I could heat with electric. I could heat with a diesel heater. I can, capture the energy using all kinds of fluid things. Heat transfers, all that stuff. I could. There's a whole bunch of heat exchangers. So I could do like liquid to liquid, I could do like air to air, I could do air to liquid, all this stuff, and do these heat exchangers and stuff, and heat it up and heat the fluid up, and you got to get it because you got to get the oil to 300 degrees, and then cycle it into the towers when it's 300 degrees, and then towers will start fractioning, and I'm like, there's got to be an easier way, and I say easier. It's not easier. There's nothing easy about what I've done. This is absolutely mind-numbingly ridiculous. But I had to share it. I had to share. It works so freaking well that I have to share it, and and just so you can marvel in the absolute ridiculous of this. And I'm going to try to make this video short. It's probably going to be only going to be about 15 minutes or so, but you have to just marvel at the absolute stupidity and ridiculousness of what I've done. I can't even. Okay, I'm going to spawn it in. I'm just going to let it explain itself. Ta-da! Okay, so what we have here is, what we have here is a tank. This tank is filled with oil because I needed something to start with. So I found on the actual workshop, there's been people that have edited fluid spawners to spawn oil. So I thought, hey, so I spawn oil in an oil tank, so I'd have something to play with, because otherwise you have to go get oil to even do your experimenting, which is kind of stupid. Then I have my two tanks, and then when I come around the front, I have my fractioning towers, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fractioning towers. Now, this is where it gets stupid. So over here, I built an engine, and I use this engine to rotate something. You can obviously tell that I'm going to use the engine to rotate something, because that's what engines do. They rotate things, right? You get an output and it spins. I can't even believe I did. Okay, ready? I can't even. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know. I made a tower of engines. I made a tower of engines. Literally, these are the small engines. These are small engines, and all I did, I took the oil. The oil's coming out of the tank. It's coming in here. It's going into this first engine as in the coolant line, coming out, going in, coming out, going in, all the way up, and then all the way back down again, in and out of the coolant lines, and then it's getting pumped into the fractioning towers, and then whatever doesn't fraction off in the fractioning tower gets sucked back out, runs back down here, and gets reheated through the tower. Now, I'm going to turn on the flow button, so you're going to see the flow rate jump up for that. And then, okay, I'm going to set this to, let's say 40 revolutions per 40 RPS. We'll fire it up. Get the engine started. And I got to warn you, this is going to get loud. So, 40 RPS. And then we're going to bring this up to 25. Listen to these suckers rip. And look at the temperature numbers. Look at the temperatures I'm getting off these engines. Look at the temperature. 500. Going up to 600. And if I go look at my look, I'm starting to get jet fuel on this side. If I come over to this side, I'm getting diesel fuel. I can turn on the pump here because the diesel runs off this little tank, and this is just going to feed back into this. So as long as I got oil, this thing's going to keep running and processing. You see, right now it's going down a little bit. That's only because the fractioning towers aren't up to full snuff yet. It just takes them a second. And I'm running this engine. This engine's running at 30 to 40 RPS, which isn't even that fast. I could probably bring it down a little bit even. Maybe. I wonder if I can bring it down to 30. Can we do 30? We could do 30, but then there's not enough clutch to keep the battery charged. So there's not enough RPS to keep the battery charged. So 30. Let's find out where that sweet spot is. 38. Okay, 38's okay. You can see the battery just very slowly. Yeah, 38 is probably the lowest we can do. What's our temperatures at? 589, 590, 600. So our engines are at 600, which means our fluid going through that engine isn't going to be 600, but it's going to be goddamn hot. Because the fluid that's going through the engine is trying to cool the engine. Remember, it's pulling that heat off the engine. And so since the engines are so damn hot, that means the coolant's getting friggin' hot too. Now, I wish I threw a thermostat in one of these things, so I can see how hot it's getting inside. But let's look at our. We got over 1,000, almost 2,000 already, and our diesel tank is climbing. Like we're not running out of fuel anytime soon. And this is climbing. This is climbing. That's climbing. Everything's climbing. I mean, you don't mind the noise. Look at our friggin' jet fuel. Our jet fuel's just skyrocketing through the roof. I could probably even cut this down. I don't even think I need this tower this high. But, because look, over here I have lower temperatures, right? Because this is where it comes in. This is where it comes in, so you're getting the lowest temperature on this bottom engine. And as you stack the engines together, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And then till you get down to this last engine down here, which we're at 678 right now, 675. The RPS is backing off a little bit, but I think we hit a spot here with 150, 149, 150, 149, 150. So I think we're going to get a temperature leveling off here somewhere. But I mean, even at it's friggin' 600. You know, if the engine's at 600, that means that means the coolant that's coming through it is probably heating up the engine. Because this engine over here is only 147. This one's 636. So you know the coolant is not cooling anymore by the time it's over here. That coolant is hot. I wish I knew what the temperature was. I don't know if I wonder if I could put a temperature gauge on the actual. I wonder if I could put a temperature gauge in the line here somewhere to tell me what the temperature is coming out here. Because I'd be damn happy to know. Like, the reason I put so many fracking towers is because the fracking towers are slow, generally. Look at this, we're going to have our tanks full in no time. And the fact that we're producing a hell of a lot more diesel than we're using, like even our diesel is going up. Our diesel tank here is maxed. Capacity of well, tank contents is 635. Capacity is 703. But you got to know you got nitrogen and oxygen in there too. So, and the pressure is about 8 atmospheres. So we're doing our best just to ram the fuel into that tank and get the gas out on this end. We're trying to get the air out on this end. I'm letting air in on this end so we don't get a vacuum in here. Before we start pumping, what was happening was I was getting a vacuum in this tank, and then I put this valve here, and then I was sucking air through the line. So I was like, okay, well I gotta allow air in here so the tank can equalize. I gotta allow air out out over here so it doesn't get air in the fuel. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, look at we're fractioning like crazy over here. Or distilling, whatever you want to call it. We're basically distilling oil. But this is ridiculous. And all I'm doing, I'm driving engines at, what RPM am I driving these engines? Or what RPA? We're driving them at about 140 to 150. 140 to 150. So I don't even know if I need this many gearboxes on here. I could probably find an easier way to run them at 150. Steam power would probably do it really easy. I'd put a nuke reactor on here and just use some steam pistons. I could probably hook a steam pistons up to this and get the same result without using up the diesel that I'm making. But this is absolutely ridiculous. I don't even look at this. Got 9,000 over in this tank. It's a quarter of the way full. This tank is a quarter of the way full. That's insane. And we've only been at this like 12 minutes. Not even 12 minutes. And the tank's a quarter of the way full. I don't know what my pumping, what my flow rate is actually into the tanks. I'd have to get up there to see what my flow rate into the tanks is. What kind of flow rate do I got here? 23? 24 liters per second? Roughly? Which, I mean, there are fractioning systems that go much faster than that. But I mean, holy shit. All I'm doing is running engines. I'm not using any additional heating systems. I'm not grabbing the heat off the towers. I'm just exhausting the heat off the towers. And for crying out loud, I got a stupid amount of heat in these lines. And this is exactly what people tell you not to do. You're not supposed to loop in and out. Because you're supposed to kind of leave oil in there, but I was like, well, if I'm pumping in oil, and that oil is going to cool down, I should probably pump it out to reheat it again, because that's what you do with these engines. You pump out and then you pump back in to pull the heat out of the engine, right? So I figure if I'm gonna be putting heat in, and eventually that heat's gonna go away, because inside the tower it's gonna cool down. I wish I had a sensor of some kind that I could look at on the outside here. So anyway, inside the tower it's going to eventually cool down if it doesn't fraction off fast enough. So why not draw it back out? Why not pull the cold oil back out and cycle it back through the heater again? And then you add your oil over here. You just add your oil to the line as needed, and it goes through the heater. The oil as needed goes through the heater before it gets to the so the oil coming in is getting heated just like the oil coming from the system. It's all getting heated up. The only difference is the oil over here is only going to flow in if there's nothing here. So you see this flow rate's like a little tiny bit. So most of it is fractioning, but some of it's still coming back. And then you see over here, this is fluctuating too. It's not a steady number, because this goes through, and then this, and then that, and then that. So it like takes its turns coming back through. But this is absolutely ridiculous. Look at that, I'm at 10,000 over here, and I'm still using it. I'm at 10,000 over here. What am I at over here? I'm at 14,000. So far I've used 4,000. So far I've used about 4,000, maybe 4,400 diesel to process this. But I mean, it's free anyways. I'm you know. And then our tank here is going down. You can see it's going down. But if I was to swap this out and say put a reactor here and have the reactor spinning this, it might get even crazier. Because then I'm doing everything for free. I'm just using steam to run pistons. I'm using steam to run pistons, and I'm getting all my fuel and getting all my stuff. And these motors are heating it up. Like, all I'm doing to heat it up is spinning the motors. They have no air hooked up to them, no fuel hooked up to them, nothing. All I'm doing is spinning them. I got the drive shaft hooked up to their inputs, and I'm just spinning them. And I got the oil going in and out of the coolers. That's it. And they're heating up the oil. And this engine is staying nice and cool. I think, nope, 261. Fluid heat sinks. Kind of, well, doesn't really show the temperature here of what's coming off the heatsink. That's weird. I have no temperature reading on the heat sinks. They were working for the train, so I figured they might work here, but I guess they're not, because this engine's getting a little warm. You see the manifolds are 268, 269. So this engine's getting a little hot too. But I mean, like I said, maybe I'll try hooking up a reactor up to the see if I can get the same output. Because my RPS is only 150. And I think my RPS in, what's my RPS in? 40? 38. So if I can get a rotation of 38 out of something, even if I gear it up more, you can see my RPS going in here is only 6. My RPS going in here is only 6. Because my clutch pressure is only 0.25. So if I can produce an RPS of 6, which I should be able to do with steam pistons, then I can run this thing off a nuclear, no problem. So I might give that a shot and see what happens. Because like I said, all I need is an RPS of 6. I think I can do that. But I just wanted you to see this absolute ridiculousness with these engines. the tower of engines, the tower of heating engines. And like I said, I don't even think I need this many engines, because down here, look, 700 degrees. I really don't think I need this many engines. I just did this because it was, you know, kind of, I had the fractioning towers already that height, so I might as well just go crazy. And yeah, 700 degrees. That's a little hot. That's a little hot. I don't know when these engines seize up, but I'm pretty sure they should by now. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to show you. Just the absolute stupidity that's going on over here. Let's kill it. That should, there we go. Yeah, crank her down and she just stops. She dies. Not enough RPS to keep her running. Or not enough torque to keep it running. Should start back up? No. Good. Okay, so I just crank her and she shuts down. But look at the temperature, still way up there. Still enough to fraction. So I'll shut off the pumps, and that's insane. That's absolute. Look at that, 14,000 with a full tank over here. My God, what's my other side at? My other side's probably closer to 18 to 20. 20. Frickin' ridiculous. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Jeez. Okay, well, that's gonna be it for this video. But I just wanted to show you this acidine project that I was just having fun with, trying to see how I can increase fractioning. And apparently there you go. Just strap a whole bunch of engines to something that can spin them. Alrighty, so take care, everybody. This is Jody, and I'm signing off. See you next time. Bye bye now.